Hello, good evening, and welcome to this new episode with a very interesting news that Donald Trump has won US presidential election. Now, obviously, the question comes, I have already received lots of queries. What would be the impact of Trump's win in India? So, obviously, this is a valid question, and that's why I thought of making this video to convey you guys what is my take, what is the industry's take on this win. Uh, Even before declaration of the result in the morning, I said someone that it is considered uh, to be a bit positive if Donald Trump wins. Hello, good evening, and welcome to this new episode. And today I have come with a very interesting news that Donald Trump has won US presidential election. So from the morning, I have started receiving lots of queries. What would be the impact of Trump's win? In case Trump's win, then the result was not declared. So what would be the impact of US presidential election on Indian market if Donald Trump wins, if Kamala Harris wins? So yeah, yes, I had some take on this, and also I'll be discussing the take of the industry. So in the morning, I was saying someone that if Donald Trump wins, that will be positive for the market. That is at least the take of the market, US market, I'm saying. So yes, Donald Trump won finally, and instant basis, I was checking like after declaration of the result, I was checking Nasdaq. It was I was checking that Dow Jones, right? Dow Jones was 2.5% up at that point in time. I'm not very sure how much up it is at this point in time. At that point in time, it was around 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Dow Jones was gaining 2.5%. Now, question is, what would the impact on Indian market? Very valid question. So, if US does well, so we can consider there would be a ripple effect. India also will follow. So, anticipation towards the end of the this assess people were assessing that Trump will win. Trump would win. So finally, it happened, and that's why market started turning positive before declaration of the result. And once result declared, Dow Jones shot up. Now, Indian market, I will be saying, okay, it is, well, if US does well, then India may follow. Now, important is sector specific. A few sectors are going to be impacted, a few sectors are going to be positively impacted. So those are where we must keep our focus. So first of all, Donald Trump always, why I like this guy, because of his clear cut stance. He's always very I would say specific about certain policy implementation. Whatever he says, he always stick to that and and always make lots of clarity on the policy. So some policy may be favorable, some policy may not be favorable for us. But yes, his stance is very clear. So the first of all, this is going. He in his election propaganda, he said about U.S. independency from uh, Chinese materials. Obviously, China holds a big share in various sectors in US. But yes, pharmaceutical is an area where Indian manufacturers are doing quite well, and Indian generic players are well exposed in the US. And this uh, this API for active pharmaceutical ingredient, US companies are very much, even Indian companies are very much dependent on Chinese players. So, keeping pharma, he had some special focus on pharmaceutical sector. So he said lots of words about anti-cartelling. So we can say pharma is going to be positive for Indian players because there will be uh, other than China fact, means anti-China sentiment or anti-China policy from Donald Trump. So this is positive. Another one sector, chemical sector, which we have been listening from quite long, China plus one strategy. It started from Donald Trump's initial policies, like which he took uh, one term back, means couple of terms back rather. So those things are going to prevail, and this China plus one strategy is going to prevail the market. And here, obviously, US cannot eliminate China overnight, but yes, shifting to, or let's say, shifting focus to other players, Indian players, will be a priority. There may be some policy implementation as well. So, altogether, this is going to be positive for chemical sector. This is my take. Next is IT. IT sector, we have seen in his earlier term, it was not positive. It was negative because of his policies for American first, right? American first, and that forced Indian IT players to reduce their exposure on Indian, or let's say reduce their hiring of Indian software engineers. So, what one data I can recollect in FY17, Infosys had 69% foreign, I mean, sorry, Indian software professionals who went to US in H1B visa. After Donald Trump's policy implementation, it came down below 50%. So this type of changes happened with other IT companies like Wipro and all. So localization of workforce became mandatory. So that may impact a margin on a temporary basis. Why I'm saying? Because if any margin change, another 20, 30 basis point, or maybe 50 basis point on uppercase, I'm saying, if any 50 basis point margin change happens, that will be absorbed over the period of time. So it's a temporary glitch if it happens. But now uh, industry is taking it as neutral, less negative. They are saying a specific word, less negative. So I hope that IT industry will not take it as negative, or let's say investors will not take it as negative for IT industry. Another a few sectors. One sector is coming in my mind, that is solar panel industries. That sector may get lots of boost up because of lots of policy implementation and US India ties. Defense. We know that we are hiring lots of, we are hiring up to a certain extent from US, although like Russia is our first partner. But yes, we are hiring. GE is already working closely with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, right? So this tie-ups will be more strong. I believe these tie-ups will be stronger going forward. So, defense, lots of policy implementation can be expected, and these ties will be stronger. So, that is my take. So, altogether, uh, this is positive. For certain sector, it is positive. For certain sector, it is neutral. But very important one thing which we must not forget. So, it's all about sectors. But one thing we must not forget, that is about the global economy. See, Trump had always very specific stance against anti-terrorism. That is why I like Trump the most. But the problem is now wherever the war-like situation is there, uh, with the earlier mm, government, Joe Biden government, US somehow somewhat maintained some defensive stance, right? Some sort of neutrality he has shown. So important is what will be Trump's policy, because although he said about avoiding war in his propaganda, even in his earlier uh, term also he said about avoiding war and all, but at the like actually we have seen lots of activities, military activities against many companies, against many countries. We have seen his stance against North Korea. So these things we have to keep in mind, because global uncertainty and geopolitical risk will increase with Trump's win. This is my take. And this next year, 2025, means yes, calendar year 2025 can be game changer, can be a decider, because of Middle East factor, because of Russia-Ukraine stance. What I think, provoking Russia, taking a strong stance against Russia, provoking Ukraine to get into war, and all those stuffs can be dangerous for US. Sorry, can be dangerous for Europe, not for US, for Europe. But yes, obviously, Trump's policy can star the situation, aggravate the situation. That is something we need to take care of. So we have to closely watch global geopolitical developments. So obviously we, being an investor, we can't stay aside, because this is something, it will always be there. Uncertainties will always be there. When Donald Trump was there in 2017, then also this uncertainty was there. Today, the war broke out, Russia Ukraine, the war broke out in Middle East. Still everything is like, we India has shown enough resilience. uh, Things will keep on deteriorating over the period of time. I don't see any indication of improvement. Right? No one is ready to surrender. No one is ready to bend in front of the opposition. Whether he's correct, whether he's wrong, doesn't matter. So everyone has their own take, own what I say, okay, their own understanding, and that is why it's very difficult for global means geopolitical situation to find a stable condition. So this unrest will further aggravate, the risk is there with Donald Trump's win. So this is something we have to take care of. That's it in this particular video. Thanks for your valuable time, and keep on watching my upcoming videos. I'm coming out with some very interesting video in another 1 2 days. Thank you so much.